Yo guys, I hope you're doing really well. I actually posted a video a few weeks back where I was covering exactly how you can find your perfect contractor for your agency. I added in all of the interview questions and, I just really went through the exact steps that I took to actually find my personal contractor for my agency. And I noticed a lot of comments and a lot of questions on the back of that video that were just basically asking, at what point should you outsource within your agency? So, people were saying, do you do it straight off the bat? When you first start, before you've even got a client, do you get that locked in? Do you get a contractor locked in straight away? Or do you wait till you're at a certain dollar amount per month? Do you wait till you're at 5,000 per month before you start outsourcing? Or people were just a bit unsure, and I totally get where they are coming from. So in this video, what I want to cover is just at what point should you actually outsource. Now, first things first is I personally got I think I had one or two clients. I can't really remember. I think it was two clients before I outsourced. Before I actually outsourced. But it does change from person to person. Now, what I recommend is, if you've never ran a Facebook ad before, you have no idea what even, Facebook ads are, you have no idea about what a business manager is, ads manager, or anything like that, you're completely new. What I actually recommend is, first things first, is take the Facebook Blueprint course, I think it's called. Basically what that is, Facebook's own ad course that just walks you through a very basic overview of the ads manager and how it's all set out. So that's what I recommend you do before you actually start your agency. If you're running paid Facebook ads, take that Facebook Blueprint course, just so you've got at least some sort of knowledge, on actually the setup of the ads manager and whatnot. But for people like you, if you want to start an agency, then what I recommend is, as I said, take that course and get a contractor before you get your first client, okay? So, if you're doing your outreach, what you want to do is make sure that you've got a contractor locked in. Just say to the contractor, once you've found, go through my other video that I've got on my channel that covers how to outsource for your social media marketing agency. So go through all of exactly the same steps, make sure you get someone locked in, but just let them know that, say, look, at the moment I'm just currently doing my lead generation. So once I've got my client, I will be, getting you on board as soon as, straight away. For you to then go ahead and run the ads, something like that. And most contractors understand. So yeah, as I said, that's what I recommend for you. If you're just starting out, you've got no clients yet, and you also have absolutely no idea about Facebook ads, or if you do have an idea but you just do not feel comfortable at all that you can deliver the results, then as I said, go through that other video, get a contractor sort of ready in place, so that when you do get your first client, you can then you can then bring the contractor on straight away, and start getting them to run the ads for you. Now, obviously, that's what I recommend for someone that's completely green to the whole process. But if you've either currently got a few clients, and you're wondering, should you get one now, or should you get one, once you hit the next sort of milestone, or whatever the case may be, what I recommend for you is just see how ask yourself, how are you actually going? Ask yourself, where do you want to get to? What are your goals? So, if your goals are to, if you're currently at, say, 5K per month and you want to get to, 10K per month, ask yourself, can you do the extra workload? And if not, get a contractor. Literally as simple as that. A lot of people overthink the process of getting a contractor. It's really not a big deal. It's just really, it's dependent on where you're at, where you want to get to. If you're currently got, if you currently got 4 clients, say, for example, and you just feel like you're just overworked, you know, you just can't keep up with, you know, delivering really good results, you know, making sure client, you know, relationships and all that sort of stuff is sort of down packed. If you feel like you're just overworked, you can't keep up, once again, simply just bring on a contractor. It will honestly change everything for you. It will obviously free up your time from doing the actual service delivery, and it will allow you to focus more on, you know, the actual systems of your agency. It will allow you to focus on the lead generation, you know, bringing new clients on board, and just really making the client experience with your agency far, far better if you've got a contractor on board. And now, you know, the other thing is, like, if you've got one client at the moment and you feel like you're a bit too new to get a contractor on board, or you don't know if you should, or whatever the case may be, once again, you know, if you've got one client, then what I would recommend is for your next client that you bring on board, I recommend you get a contractor for that client. But you know, if you've already got one client and they're paying you every month and you're doing quite well with the ads, then obviously just keep that one for yourself. And then for the new clients that you bring on board, you can then bring a contractor on board as well, so that they can run the ads for them. But you know, what I do recommend is you do push to get a contractor on as soon as possible. You know, it's not necessary to get it on straight away, but I do recommend that the quicker you get a contractor on, it will be better for you and it will be better for your agency as a whole. Because obviously the contractor specializes in, you know, say for my niche, for example, obviously I'm in the e-commerce niche. So, you know, my contractor specializes in running Facebook ads for e-commerce only. That's all he does. That's all he does. So, you know, he's obviously much more proficient at running ads than I am for e-commerce, because he only focuses on that, whereas I've got to focus on the rest of the business as a whole. So another perk of getting a contractor is, you know, not only do they run the ads to a very high degree, so that they're getting far better results than, you know, me or yourself could ever get. Not only are they going to get that, which obviously would lead to your client staying on for much longer, and you're actually going to make more money even though you're paying your contractor. So obviously, you know, from face value, it's going to look like you're losing money because you know, part of the client retainer is actually going to the contractor. Over the long term, you're actually not, because your client's going to stay on for far longer, because you're getting far better results because the contractor's doing such good work. So, you know, not only that, but what you can do is better your skills by getting the contractor on board. They're running the ads, but you're obviously got access as well, so you can look over the ads. You know, you can see how the contractor are running the ads, you know, how they're structuring it, how you know, if you're not doing the ad copy yourself, you know, you can read their ad copy. You can just get a really good sort of gist of how to run effective Facebook ads for your niche. And really, it's something that you'd never ever learn from courses. You know, you'd never learn from anywhere else other than actually doing it. But the perfect thing about it is, you know, a lot of people think, what I'm going to do is I'm going to learn Facebook ads first, and then once I learn Facebook ads, then I'm going to get clients and run the ads for the clients. Which I know from sort of, once again, from face value, that sounds quite logical. It sounds quite, you know, pretty good. But, you know, why not? Why would you do that when you could get a contractor on board, you know, and get a contractor on board, get paid to learn from your contractor? That's essentially what you can do when you're first starting out if you've got no prior experience. You know, you can get a client on board, get a contractor to come in and start running the ads. Obviously, you're getting paid, and while your contractor's running the ads, you can look over the ads. You can look over the ads, and you can get a really good understanding of how to run effective ads while you're still getting paid. So essentially, you're getting paid to learn a very important skill. So my best recommendation is just try and get a contractor on as soon as you can. But, you know, if you're comfortable at the moment, you know, you've got 2 clients, you're not really wanting to scale too heavily, you know, or, you know, 2, 3, whatever the number is, it doesn't really matter. As long as you're comfortable and you're not really wanting to scale to the next level and you're running the ad yourself, then, you know, so be it. That's perfectly fine. But all I'm saying is if you want to scale, then you want to look at bringing on a contractor sort of as soon as possible, simply because it's going to allow you to actually scale. You know, there's no way you'll be able to scale to a high level if you're doing absolutely everything within your agency. So I hope that clears up the sort of the question of when to outsource. And as I said, the question of how to outsource, I have uploaded a previous video a few weeks back that is, you know, how to outsource for your social media marketing agency. So I hope that helps, guys, and I will see you in the next video.